GoToWhitney.com.
I am sitting next to one of Atlantic City's newest entrepreneurs, Mark Callazzo. Welcome and thank you for talking with us today.
Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, of course.
Glad to sit down with you.
Now, you may have eaten at his establishment at the Iron Room. He also has the Atlantic City Bottle Company, and he's a big investor in Atlantic City. Can't wait to see some of your new projects.
You said big. You didn't mean fat. You meant big, like the size of the projects I'm doing, right?
Exactly. I meant like the size of the projects.
Right.
Exactly. Now, talk to us. First of all, I know you have Alpha Funding.
Yeah.
Tell us about Alpha Funding and how you became involved in Atlantic City.
Well, Alpha Funding's a bridge lender. We do construction projects, debt restructuring, any kind of short-term financing needs for builders, developers, and investors. And we've been doing that since 2007. I've always loved Atlantic City, and I opened the Atlantic City Bottle Company 2 years ago, and the Iron Room a few months after that. And that's when I started really looking down here for more real estate projects. And we've got a few exciting things we're working on right now, and I'm happy to be a part of the whole area now.
Yeah, I mean, well, you are from New Jersey, and I know you've invested in the tri-state area, but what made you come to Atlantic City in the first place?
It's just really a vibrant kind of place. I mean, I don't gamble, which you would think is kind of strange, but I love the beach. I love the food. I love the atmosphere, the people, the boardwalk. It's really got everything for non-gamblers, let alone gamblers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know that here it's definitely a great destination for all kinds of things. Now, when you opened the Atlantic City Bottle Company, what was your initial thought process? Were you like, oh, we need to have a liquor store, we need to sell whiskey, we need wine? Where did that come from?
Well, I kind of just said I'm going to build the wine shop and the restaurant that I want to shop in and eat in, and I'm going to hope that people come. Okay. And thankfully, they have so far because business has been great.
And now you're a big lender. You're known as a hard money lender, and you're working with the investors for the Armory in Atlantic City. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's an exciting project, and we just finally closed on the deal a little while ago. And John Longacre, he's a developer from Philadelphia that we do a lot of work with out there, and he's turning it into around 30, 35 apartments. I don't think they have that number finalized yet. And he's going to have some commercial space on the ground floor. And he's going to be looking to bring some Philadelphia retail brands to the area. So it's exciting, and they're underway, and they've started ripping the place apart. And it's going to be a long process putting it back together, but it's a good project. And the architecture in that building is amazing. The outside, if you drive by it, you can see, it was an armory. I think it was built in the early 1900s. And the inside has just as amazing architecture. As the ceilings are starting to come down, you can see stained glass windows and tin and copper ceilings and amazing woodwork. And it's really going to be a cool place for people to live. And that's what he wants to do, have housing for the younger generation that lives and works in Atlantic City.
Yeah, and I think you have that same concept as well. I know that you're investing and doing a lot. You have another property on Boston Avenue and then another one on Tennessee. Where is the inspiration for buying all these properties? What are you looking to do with them?
Well, One North Boston is it's an apartment building. It's 31 apartments and 3 commercial units. We just bought it from the CRDA a few weeks ago. There's a lot of structural issues that need to be addressed before we can go in and renovate it. But it's a great building, again, built in the 1900s and went through some renovations, but we're going to try to bring it back to what it was. We're going to have the same thing, apartments for younger generation who live and work in Atlantic City. And kind of that all came about because I was sitting around at the Iron Room talking to the staff, and they're all in their 20s and early 30s, and they all live in Brigantine or Galloway or Absecon or Egg Harbor, and none of them live in Atlantic City. Right. And they said there's really not a cool, affordable place for us to live. So that's kind of how me and John said, maybe we should look at apartments in Atlantic City.
Wow. I mean, the perception right now is that Atlantic City isn't really a fun place to live. It's not very safe. But in reality, a lot of people do live here. You live here. Yeah. What is your perception of the city as somebody who lives here and owns businesses here?
I think it's safe. I mean, there may be a few parts of town that you wouldn't want to go late at night, but 90% of the city and any of the places that you want to go to are absolutely safe. The food is amazing. So I live part-time in Toms River and down here, and I never want to go out to eat when I'm in Toms River. I'm sorry to knock my hometown, but the best place to eat in Toms River is not as good as the worst place to eat in Atlantic City. So I eat at home a lot when I'm there, and I like to eat out here because the food and the beverage scene in Atlantic City is just amazing. And all the way from the big celebrity chefs, Bobby Flay and Wolfgang Puck, down to places like the Iron Room, where it's just a small 30-seat restaurant and everything in between.
What's your favorite type of food to eat in Atlantic City?
I really like Italian, so I really like Martiranos and Chef Vola. The veal parm and Chef Vola is still probably my favorite all-time dish of all time. So, yeah, it's a great restaurant. It's in an old house on Albion Street down the south side of town, and it's just well-made Italian dishes and like just home-style Italian done right. And yeah, Lou does an amazing job with everything he does there, and the atmosphere is great. Some people don't know about it, but the people that do love it, and it's in the summer probably the toughest reservation in town to get.
That's true. Now, what are your other plans for the future in Atlantic City? I mean, because everything's changing. We know that the Iron Room is doing well. We know that the Atlantic City Bottle Company is doing well. We know that you're building this apartment, complex for younger people to want to come down here. What are some of your other visions for the future, maybe 5-10 years from now?
Well, I think that everybody in the city finally has the vision that we can't rely on gaming, and you can see it with the playground. Bart Blatstein's vision for the pier. It's a big project. Everybody's excited about it. There's no gambling, so we're a resort town. We have a beach. We have food. We have entertainment, and that's where everything should be focused on.
Yeah. I mean, for an entrepreneur that wants to come in, and you are a hard money lender, talk to us about how that process works and how they could actually get in touch with you if they have a great business idea.
Yeah, well, so we're a bridge lender. We're best used to kickstart construction projects. So if you have a project that you want to get involved in and it's too early for the bank, that's where we step in. So you can reach us at alphafunding.com if you have any questions, info@alphafunding.com. But, we look for projects that make sense. And really, we're a hard money lender, but I like to say it's banking 101. We go out, we look at the property, we meet the sponsor, we understand what the plan is, and we have to have confidence in everything, the builder, the project, the market, the community, the regulatory environment. So, we kind of just go back to old school banking, and that's why I think we're pretty successful.
So tell us about how you got into this line of work. Did you know that you always wanted to be in this business?
Well, I started as a real estate appraiser, and I still own an appraisal company. And our clients were mortgage brokers and mortgage bankers, just like you were back in the day. And, we had a lot of relationships with them. And one of our mortgage bankers came to me with a deal, I believe it was 2006, and it was a builder with a construction project, and he couldn't find funding for it. So he said it was a $150,000 loan, and he said, how about we each put up $75,000? The guy said he was going to pay 15% in 5 points, and he was going to be in and out in 6 months. So we each put up $75,000. We were out in 6 months. We made a lot of money, and I said, hey, let's do another one of these. Wow. It was, it was profitable. It was fun, and we found another, and kind of just grew into Alpha Funding.
Wow. Now, how many staff do you have right now, and do you plan on growing, or do you want to stay kind of smaller?
We have 8 people, and I think we're looking to take on one more right now. But, it sounds kind of hipster or whatever, but I'd like to think that we're a boutique lender. So I don't think we're going to grow much more than this staff-wise. We're looking at bigger deals now. So our total fundings may grow, but with 8 people, we did $55 million last year, wow. And we're trying to do about $75 million this year.
Wow! And then if you have investors that want to come on, they also get returns on their investment as well.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, and same thing. They can reach us through the website.
Wow, What are some of the things that we should look for if we wanted to go traditional and we can't make it? We would go through you.
Well, a lot of the reasons people come to us is timing.
Okay.
They need to close in 30 days or they need to close in 3 weeks. And, traditional bank construction lending now is a 3 to 4 month process. And sometimes the deals just can't wait. Other times it's the banks don't want to look at the project in the state it's in. We funded a strip mall that was only 40% occupied at the time, but we felt the sponsor could come in and reposition the asset to get a greater occupancy, and he did. And once he got it up to 75%, the bank took our loan out. So,
what is your most successful venture that you've done thus far?
my most successful venture that I've done so far, I don't think I have one, because really what we do is we don't try to hit a home run. And every day I tell people I just try to go out and hit a single. And sometimes we manage to hit a double, but if I just get up every day and hit a single, I'm happy, and I'm going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And I'm not going to strike out a lot. So I really don't have one project where I can say that was our crowning achievement. It's just we do a lot of little projects that are successful.
Well, we welcome you here to Atlantic City, and we thank you so much for just really contributing to our town. There's so many great things that are coming just from you and from Alpha Funding. So thank you, Mark. And it's alphafunding.com, right? Yeah, so you can find more information at alphafunding.com. Definitely right now, the Iron Room and the Atlantic City Bottle Company are open. There's other projects in the works, so make sure to stay tuned for everything that's happening from the Alpha Funding team here in Atlantic City. I'm Whitney Ullman, and you can follow me and more information about Atlantic City and all the happenings here at GoToWhitney.